In this video, I'm going to help you simplify your lead management using automation. We're going to be going over specific examples of different ways you can streamline your sales funnel using automation to optimize your lead management, automate your follow-ups, and keep everyone in your team up to date with everything that's going on. Lead management at scale is something which is updating 24/7 with hundreds of leads entering and moving across your funnel every single day. If you don't take charge of this and move away from putting your faith in manual updates, then you will not be able to handle them properly on a long-term basis. I'll be sharing the exact automations and the frameworks we use over here at Fluxomate as part of our Agency Accelerator program to help agency owners build scale-proof agencies which are an asset rather than a liability. As with everything else on this channel, this will be a 100% free course where we aren't holding anything back and showing you a complete solution to your problems. Let's go over how to actually automate your lead management in your agency. Alright guys, so lead management in itself is a very broad topic. There's a lot of different things I can go on about when it comes to managing your leads, sales goals, everything. So instead of going over lead management in general, you can find much better advice from people like Ravi or even Dan, for example. I'm going to be going over 4 specific automations that we always set up as part of our Agency Accelerator program when we onboard new clients and move on to the automation stage of the program. Now, as you'll see, these are part of a much larger system, but without fail, every single time, these 4 automations we've had to set up for our clients. So as of now, these are the most common lead management automations that we've seen in our agency, working with agency owners. As you'll see in a second, I'll be going over different types of lead management scenarios, such as managing all inbound leads from ads, preparing for your sales calls, and just a general overview of how to actually manage your leads and keep them updated within your CRM. There's 4 different automations I'm going to be talking you through. And like I said, without fail, we've set this up in every single agency that we work with as part of our Agency Accelerator program. So these are real automations that we're using every single day within our partners' agencies. So you know this is about to be valuable. Let's get straight into the first automation. Now, what is the number one thing that people like Alex and Muzi tell you when it comes to actually communicating with leads from ads? The number one thing he says, and some people in this space, is as soon as they sign up, you need to call them within 5 minutes. Now, I don't remember the exact number, but I know that it has a significant impact in the actual booking rate, which to me, it makes sense why someone would do this. But I also understand why a lot of people aren't doing this, because it's a lot easier said than done. Calling leads within 5 minutes needs a good infrastructure to actually do this properly. And I'm going to show you one automation that helps our partners do this. Now, I'm normally going over these kind of chatbots that call the leads automatically, completely using AI. It's really impressive, but we're not talking about that today. I'm going to be talking about how you can actually boost the performance of your appointment setters, or if you're just getting started, you make sure you call those leads as soon as they come into your funnel to actually get them booked for an appointment. So the automation is very simple for this, guys. Trigger is going to be a new lead coming in. Now, this can be anything from a sign up on an opt-in page, a VSL sign up, I don't know, an opted into your ad, even them engaging with a lead magnet. Literally anything. Nowadays, can even be a comment on an Instagram post. As soon as that lead comes in, we want to find the lead in a CRM. If it doesn't exist, we're going to create the lead in a CRM, because one very important thing you'll see in all these automations, we like to keep our CRM updated with everything so we can track all the different leads. Then we'll create a task for appointment setter, actually call the lead, and then we'll also send that specific appointment setter a message to make sure they do it. If the lead already does exist in a CRM, all we'll do is update the lead card to reflect the specific stage, and then we'll do the exact same thing, create a task for the appointment setter, and then send a Slack message to the appointment setter so they can call that lead immediately. Now, this is very simple, yes, and it can get a bit more complicated if you're using different things, such as these AI bots that actually call the lead and book the appointment for you. I've seen a lot of people in this space start using these, and honestly, I'm super impressed by how fast it's actually progressed. I don't think it's perfect yet, but I'm sure in 6 months' time or even a year's time, it will be indistinguishable from a real voice, and it'll probably be better than your best appointment setter. So I'm excited to see what happens from that in the future. Like I said, this is simple, but it just makes sure that none of your leads slip through the crack, and your appointment setters are always being notified as soon as a lead comes in so they can call them and hopefully book that appointment. Now, if you don't have an infrastructure with a couple appointment setters that are ready to actually call your leads at any given time, it's completely fine. You can just send this message to yourself or create a task yourself. And you know at least that even if it's not 5 minutes, it won't be 2 hours. As soon as you get that message, you find the soonest opportunity to actually call them, and then you go ahead and book them in. So guys, this is the first automation. Let's go see what this actually looks like in real life. Guys, one thing I do want to say is I'm going to be using an automation tool to actually make these automations come to life. This is basically just a no-code tool that connects different APIs. The two main ones are Zapier and Make. Now, honestly, they're quite indistinguishable. Whichever one you use doesn't really matter. Zapier is a bit more beginner friendly. Make is a bit more complicated, but you can do more with it and it is slightly cheaper. Usually for our tutorials, we use Zapier just because it is beginner friendly. However, we've recently started making a bit more videos on Make. So if you're more interested in seeing the Make side of things, drop a comment below. Right now, we're deciding whether for our tutorials on the YouTube channel, we should use Zapier or Make. So if you have any preference between the two software, drop a comment below, and we're going to take everyone's opinions into account and decide the best software for the channel anyways. For this example, we're going to continue using Zapier just because it is a bit more beginner friendly, but we're more than happy to use Make. We use both of these every single day, so to us it doesn't really make a difference. Let's get straight into Zapier to actually build some sort of model for this automation. Alright guys, so now that we're in Zapier, it's time to actually build out this automation. Now there's a lot of different triggers that could be used for this automation, whether you're using a webhook, the direct Facebook integration whenever a new lead comes in, a form that they fill out. It really just depends on what you're doing. So for this example, I'm just going to skip the trigger. But let's say you're doing Facebook, for example, you can just search Facebook in the app section. And then for event, you can choose a new lead. So every time you get a new lead from Facebook, this automation will trigger. You can do the exact same thing with a form. So for example, if you're using Typeform, you choose Typeform here. And then for event, you put new entry. Like I said, it does depend on what you're doing. So take a second to figure out what your trigger would be for your leads coming in. And after that, let's move on to the next step, which is actually finding a lead in CRM. Now, this is literally just as simple as connecting your CRM here. So whether you're using Notion, Airtable, SmartSuite, GHL, whatever it is you're using, and passing that email through and looking for a lead in your CRM. I'll show you what this could look like on Notion, for example. It doesn't really matter what you're using. You can just follow the exact same framework. If you go to Notion and we scroll all the way down to find a database item, obviously connect your account. So once you found your CRM, you just want to scroll down to the email, which is the most important part. Then here you'd enter the email that you get from the first step so you can actually search for the email. The key thing here, you want to change this to yes, because you won't always have that lead already in your CRM. And if it doesn't find anything, you don't want it to stop the automation. We need to move on to the next stage. So make sure you tick this as yes. Now we're going to add another step, and this is going to be a path, which actually splits it within the two different sections. One for leads that already exist in a CRM and one for leads that don't exist in a CRM. If I show you an example here, you go to action and I'm going to search for my own email. Obviously, you would pass it through the automation. But just to show you what this looks like. This email already exists in my CRM. So if I go ahead and test it, you'll see all the information, just like that. However, if I were to change this to an email that doesn't exist in my CRM, so for example, I just change this to like that, and we search for this now, nothing will come up because that email doesn't exist. And this will allow us to differentiate the path. So for now, if we go to filters and we go to path A, we can set up conditions or rules for it to actually go down this way. So we can put only continue if, and then we find database and item, and we put ID does not exist. Because if it doesn't find it, an ID will not exist. However, if it does exist, we can change this to ID, then exists. So now every single lead that does exist in the CRM will go in this way. Super simple, guys. Now, we can test this just to make sure we're on the same page. So we go continue. We'll see it should go down this way because the lead does not exist. Next step is actually creating a task. Now, once again, it doesn't matter what you're using for your project management, Airtable, Monday, wherever the hell you're using. It doesn't matter. All you want to do is connect the software here. So let's say for this example, we're using Notion again. We put create database item. You find your task database and you create a task with the lead's information for your appointment setter to actually call the lead. I'll give you a pro trick. If you're ever doing an automation like this where each of the paths is the same, instead of doing it again, all you can do is press the copy here and just duplicate it just like that. Makes your life a bit easier and save you a bit of time on building all these automations. And the last set of this actual automation is sending a Slack message to your appointment setters. Now you can have a channel, or if you only have one, you can send a direct message. But for this, all we're gonna do is search for Slack. And once we're in Slack, we want to search for either send channel message if you have a channel with appointment setters, or send direct message. For this example, I'm just going to go for channel message. I'm going to press continue. I'm going to connect my Slack account. Then I'm going to choose that channel. I'm just going to use our testing channel that we use for all of our YouTube videos, but it doesn't really matter. Whatever is best for you. And then a message, we want to have a simple message such as new lead just came in for them ASAP. You can put lead information, link that straight from the trigger, such as the email, the number, And if you want to give your appointment setters even more information, attach the task we created in the previous step as part of the message. Like send us as a bot, you can call it, I don't know, lead bot. And I always love to add a little icon so I can put a robot face. Now, if you go ahead and test this, just to get an idea of what this looks like, we'll test this and we'll open up Slack. On the testing side of things, you'll see new lead just came in. Obviously here you'd have the lead information, the link to the task, but because we haven't done the previous step and we haven't set up a trigger, you won't see anything. And lastly, guys, like I said before, all you have to do is copy this and I want to paste it below. And that's it. This automation is basically ready to go. Super simple automation, but it's extremely powerful. And just make sure that no leads falls through the cracks, which if you're having a lot of leads coming through every single day is very likely to happen. Let's move on to the second automation, which is actually part of a much larger system. But this is basically a meeting automation. So whenever a lead books a sales call, three things need to happen. We want to warm the lead, we want to research the lead, and we want to alert the team that they actually have a call coming up. Doing this manually is definitely possible, but if you're having a lot of leads coming in and a lot of sales calls being booked every single day, then this just takes up unnecessary time for your closers that they can be focusing on taking more calls and closing more leads for your agency. So what do? We just automate this. And this is what the automation looks like. So the trigger for this will obviously be a sales call being booked. If you're using Calendly, you'd connect Calendly and use that. We then do the exact same thing we did previously, which is actually try and find that lead in a CRM. If it doesn't already exist in the CRM, we firstly create the lead in the CRM and assign it a specific stage of them having a sales call booked. We then take the information that we ask within the Calendly form or the booking form, such as the company website, their field, the, I don't know, ideal client, the revenue, and we send that information over to a customer system to actually research the lead. The main thing we're looking for here is any information we can find about the company that can, as relevant to our specific services, our sales guys can use and leverage that within a call to actually close the leads. As soon as that information has been collected, we want to send a Slack message to the team with the information and letting them know they have a sales call booked. We then send an email to the client to actually warm them up and just confirm the booking. And then we wait 12 hours before the call and use some custom code. We send them a secondary email to actually warm them up. This Slack message can be developed a bit more using something like a Slack app. Whereas we send a message, and within that message, we also include a button where different salespeople can actually claim that call. Now, this would only be relevant if you have a lot of salespeople. If it's just you taking a calls or you have one sales rep, then I wouldn't recommend setting something like this up. But if you have a lot of salespeople that basically have to approve the calls or claim them, for example, this is the perfect thing because they can just press a button and then it'll be assigned to them straight away. On the other side of things, the exact same thing, but instead of us creating a lead in a CRM with a relevant stage, we're just updating a specific lead we found in a previous step and just doing the exact same thing. Guys, I literally have a whole video going over a live automation build of this. So I've linked that in the top right hand corner. It's extremely useful. It's a bit of a longer video, but if you want to build something like this out, then this is where you can start. Speaking of starting, I need to emphasize that this automation is just the start of a much larger system. I'm just giving you the example for sales calls, but if you're working with us, we set something like this up for all of your meetings. So sales calls, follow-up calls, client calls, team calls, literally every single type of call, we'd have some sort of workflow, which obviously makes your life easier and allows you to track everything that's going on within your agency. But it's an extreme powerful automation. Like I said, without fail, we set something like this up within every single partner that we've actually worked with. All right, guys, let's move on to the third automation, which you guessed it is following up. Now, following up is a massive thing that everyone needs to do. But when you're running an agency and you're doing a lot of different things from client success to marketing to content, finance, sales, KPIs, it can get extremely overwhelming and you don't want to get burnt out and forget to follow up with those leads. Because especially if you have a very busy calendar, having to follow up with different people is just going to cause you to lose clients. Because the money is literally in a follow-up, guys. Most of our deals don't come from the first meeting. They come 2 or 3 months down the line. So if you didn't have a correct follow-up system that allowed us to maintain those relationships on autopilot, then I'll tell you right now, we wouldn't have the amount of clients that we do. To actually help with that, we use this simple automation right here. And all it does is 2 very simple things. It follows up automatically and creates a fully personalized follow-up based on the stuff that they say in a sales call. Let me break this automation down for you guys. Actually show you what this looks like. Trigger is just a button being ticked within an Airtable CRM. This can be something like a follow-up button. Whenever someone presses that, we update the CRM to change it to the follow-up stage. We then wait 14 days and then create a fairly personalized email based on information that we collected on a sales call about the lead. I'll show you what this looks like. Hey Leo, hope you're doing well. I've been thinking about your cat and hope the surgery went smoothly. Just wanted to follow up from a conversation from a couple of weeks ago. I understand that April is a busy month with your travel plans and it's important to be ready for the program when the time is right. We've opened a couple more spots and I'm reaching out to ensure you get a chance to claim more when you're back and ready and your companion is fully recovered. Now, just for context, the information we put in the CRM for this specific example was that the cat was having surgery and that they were traveling in April, so they had a very busy month. As you can see, it came up with a fully personalized email on autopilot 14 days after we pressed that button. As soon as you send that email, we update the CRM. Now, guys, once again, I've literally done a whole 30-minute video building this automation live as part of our automation challenges series, where we take your guys' suggestions of different automations that you want to see and build them out live. It was an extremely fun video to record, and I've also linked that in the top right-hand corner. So if you want to watch that, or if you just want to build this automation out live with me, then I really encourage you to watch that video because it's honestly one of my favorite videos that we actually recorded. I'm excited for the next episode. So far, we've set up an automation that will allow you to call your leads within 5 minutes. We set up an automation that warms your leads, research them, and actually alerts your team whenever you book a sales call. And now we've just finished setting up an automation that allows you to follow up with your leads automatically with a fairly personalized email. The last automation I want to introduce to you is something I've mentioned throughout this whole video. And that's basically setting up automation automatically updates your CRM or your sales pipeline. Now, like I said throughout this entire video, it doesn't matter what software you're using, whether you're using ClickUp, Airtable, Notion, GHL, ClickFunnels even, they just launched a CRM, or HubSpot, or even your own custom CRM that we build up for our clients. It doesn't matter. You need to keep it updated so you can have a track of where all your leads are and the certain stage they are in. Like I said, most of our leads that we actually close come 2 or 3 months down the line. So if we didn't have a CRM which is fully updated and gives us all the information we needed on a long-term basis, then it wouldn't work out. To do this is very simple. Just set up a bunch of different triggers. This can be things such as when a sales call is booked, when you want to follow up, when there's a different opt-in, when someone's opened an email, when someone's closed, or even when someone refers you to one of their friends. You need to set up a bunch of different triggers so you can do what I showed you when we built out this automation, which is basically trigger the automation, find the lead in automation, and either update or create a lead based on a specific stage. As I seriously can't stress how powerful this is, because if you're updating your CRM manually, it might be fine for now when it's just you. But when you have a whole sales team that's updating the CRM every single day manually because of the hundreds of leads that are coming in every single day, then trust me, it gets extremely stressful and just becomes a whole hot mess. The reason I can tell you that is because as part of what we do at Fluxomate is fixing that mess that a lot of agencies end up in. And I can't stress enough how many agency owners I've seen come to us with a CRM that is completely out of date and honestly doing more damage than good. Setting up different automations like this for different triggers within your sales stage or even your client journey will make your life a lot easier and allow your CRM to be fully updated automatically so everyone can be on the same page without having to be involved in every single lead, avoiding confusion. Just to emphasize this, all you'd have to do, similar to what we did in this automation, is find where the trigger this is. So for example, if there's a lead magnet, the trigger would be a new entry in a type form or whatever form you're using. We then search for their email within our database. The email is usually the key thing. You can do it by name or by company name, for example, but I always recommend going for the email because it's quite unique usually. And then we set up 2 different paths. One if the lead does exist and one if the lead does not exist. If it doesn't exist, we just create the lead in a CRM and assign it a specific stage in your funnel. And if it does exist, all you want to do is update the lead to that specific stage in your funnel. All you have to do is copy that and replicate it for all the different instances where you find the trigger within your funnel. That's pretty much it. Those are the 4 automations that we always set up within our partners program when it comes to lead management. Now, like I said throughout the video, guys, this is a small part of a much larger system similar to the Earth and the solar system. Different things I've showed you here will work by themselves. However, when you combine all of them together along with a bunch of different automations and systemized processes, it will ensure your leads are being managed efficiently and actually allow you to close more clients, but also retain the clients you already have as partners. If you want clarification on anything, please do drop a comment below. I'm more than happy to help you guys out. I say this in most videos, but a massive advantage you guys have right now is that we're a very small channel. So if you drop a comment, we're 100% going to see it and give you an in-detail response solving your issues. So if I rushed over anything or I wasn't clear enough about anything, drop a comment below. I also would recommend checking out 2 videos. The first one is a build of this automation live. And the second one is the first episode of our automation challenger series. Both of them are about half an hour long and go over a live build of these two automations. This just help you solve any specific issues, and you get to see the frameworks behind how we actually build these automations live. So they're insanely valuable videos. That's pretty much it for this video, guys. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. If you've watched up to this point, you're obviously interested in different ways you can improve the operations in your agency. So if you want access to this 20+ page document going over exactly how you can set up a skill-proof agency, all you have to do is check out the first link in the description, fill out the short form, takes about 5 minutes, and from that, you'll get access to this document. You also get 3 things that are extremely powerful. You get your onboarding process completely optimized based on your specific pain points. You get your client journey optimized to actually improve client success in your agency, once again, fully personalized to your specific pain points. And you also get 5 different automation examples with a step-by-step guide, and you can actually set them up, once again, based on your specific pain points. It's an insanely valuable lead magnet, and it's an example of an automated lead magnet, which we sell for our clients as well. And lastly, if you want to save $100 a month with a scalable system that will allow you to take on more clients without ruining your service delivery or profit margins, you can check out the second link in the description to get access to this free training. This just basically breaks down what Agency Accelerator program is all about and how we actually help agency owners set up skill-proof agencies using everything that we know. I will say that this is not for everyone. So if you're not at a point where you're doing about 30K a month and you actually need to optimize your operations, then I wouldn't recommend signing up. But if that is you, we've recently opened up some new spots. So have a look at a quick 10-minute video and book a call with us to see if we can actually help you. If you're not ready for that just yet, don't worry. Make sure to keep using all the value that we're dropping in these YouTube videos, because I guarantee there's no one else on YouTube dropping this much value consistently. I want to say thank you for watching up to this point. It's been a pleasure recording this video and sharing these 4 automations. Hopefully this will simplify your lead management and help you automate it slightly to take a bit away off your shoulders, because I know how stressful it can be, especially if you're doing it all by yourself. And like I said, any questions, drop them in the comment below. I'm here to help you guys out. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.